Hello and welcome back to the R32 GTR build. Today I have a really exciting video for you guys. I'm pretty excited on this one actually, to be quite fair. This was like my first major dive into a pretty tricky fabrication project. I was a little bit concerned about this part, but I think it came out alright, so let me know what you guys think about it at the end of the video. But car's coming along really well, man. I really do appreciate you guys following along with the build and all of that. But that's enough for today. I do have some bonus content at the end of today's video if you guys want to see me rip around on a dirt bike on a motocross track. But I think I go down. I probably go down. But yeah, just a little bit at the end if you guys want to see what I do to kind of let some steam off and just get my mind away from cars in general, considering that's all I do. If you guys are joining me for the first time, if you guys would like to, please hit that subscribe button. I have a lot of cool stuff coming up, and like I said before, content is just going to get more exciting as the car kind of comes together. And yeah, I'm really excited for the content to come. And there's a lot. So yeah, stick around if you guys would like to follow along, but without further ado, I'll catch up with you guys at the end of the video. Alright, Nintendo, we gonna do this. I'm totally just kidding. If you know, you know though. Alright, so here we are. We are working on this back pocket corner. As you guys can see, this is the piece I am currently remaking. Some more work apart from that has happened, but that was a decent picture as to what it looked like. So as you can see, I'm just getting my fitment dialed in right now. So this piece actually ties into like the inner wheelhouse structure. There's actually two layers that you can see. They're really hard to tell from that picture, but there's multiple skins back there, and this ties into one of them. So kind of get things in its place and get my markings made up, and you can see here that's the kind of cut I have to make. It kind of sits in a strange position. Using my hydraulic press here to get everything kind of in shape. Hammer is your best friend, of course. So that looking up pretty well. The radius is actually a lot lighter down at the bottom, so we kind of had to match it up based off what I had for reference. So got that up looking good, but now basically just have to kind of form it around the wheelhouse itself. So back to the hydraulic press and couple adjustments, couple tweaks. And it's looking good. I'm pretty happy at this point with how it's fitting, and just need to make a little bit clearance. Need to grind away those spot welds I made in the back panel, which was already replaced. And now you can see that this is fitting up pretty well. Radius is matched beautifully. We love to see it. So the factory plate actually had, I had no reference because there was nothing there for me to start with. So just based off pictures and stuff like that, I did kind of go to the other side just to see how it was all layered up and how it was set up. First off, we had to just dig away this massive glob of whatever they used. It must just be some seam sealer, but you know, hey, it is what it is, right? I think I got it figured out. So you can kind of see it. The lip folds out from this piece that I'm currently making, and it looks like it just kind of it ends. It actually just ends right there, which was strange. But you can see that there is a seam there, so just basically have to recreate how this all builds up and go from there. So I just actually went ahead and just built up a little structural thing. I actually bought myself a bead roller way back, as you guys can see here. This is my first ever attempt trying to bead roll something. It went okay. Basically just the point of the bead roll is just to add a little bit of extra strength, extra structure. I had no clue how it looked from factory, like how Nissan stamped this panel out. So I just kind of, winged it. Even though I do believe on the other side, since I did kind of have a reference, since it wasn't as rusted out, I think I just switched up the design a little bit. But either way, having some sort of a bead roll there is going to make a difference as far as some strength. Is it going to make or break the car? Hell no, but it was there from factory. Let's put it back. So you can see I'm not very satisfied here. It's my working environment clearly, as you can see, is well, it's a little bit tight. So doing what we can, but actually in the end, got it looking okay. You'll be able to see it here. Shout out to Taylor Ray, by the way. So, with my bead roll made, it's just cleaned it up a little bit. I kind of was a little bit close on the inner edge, just, learning this thing, trying to figure out how it all works. And just trying to hammer it back into shape and get it looking right. You'll also notice that there's a little bit of extra flex now, just that bead roll kind of stretched the metal a little bit, so you can see there's some flop in it. So bust out the old shrinker and get that taken care of. So basically just have it clamped into my little wooden vise over here, and definitely does not work very well, as you guys can see. Yeah, not good. But we did make it work. And you can see here that whole like floppy area is now gone. So just shrink that metal back up and it's nice and strong again. Wow, how about that? So we have it all tacked in. As you can see, it kind of ties into multiple places on the car. Spot welded. I actually added those 4 spot welds. You guys can see those big round ones on top, just the middle row of welds. I actually added those because that panel wasn't tied in prior, and I figured why not? Not gonna hurt. So with that welded, I could then go ahead and finish it up. You guys can see I actually now am mocking up with that piece now being there. I might have to grind some of those spot welds up there down. Now it's time to recreate this portion of the rocker. So as you guys know, I do have replacement rockers. They are used, however, brand new basically. However, this part of the rocker is not included. So here we go. It's time to make it. You guys can see it's seen much better days. But this is actually like my first, I wouldn't say difficult, because, you know, it's in all honesty, this is still pretty entry level as far as like metal fabrication. It was a bit of a challenge for me. And but I'm looking forward to getting this thing done, because with this pocket complete, it's pretty much the last piece of the puzzle for this back corner. Well, I say that. So again, working with my beautiful workspace here, I got my bench shear, pretty decent tool if you don't like grinding and making a bunch of noise. However, you do need some room to set it up, especially when you're working with a 4x4 sheet of metal. So with that piece cut out, went over to my brake and put a bend in it. We're doing the best of what we can, guys. But I gotta say, you know, this is one of those things where you may look at doing something like this and you might think you need all these fancy tools. Guys, honestly, I have 0 fancy tools and just have slowly accumulated these little things like, you know, there's that bench shear and the shrinker and stretcher. Those are pretty reasonably priced things. So, you know, obviously would love to expand my arsenal, but all in time. So now to kind of mimic this shape here to rebuild the rocker, I'm basically just using my replacement rocker, as you guys can see, as a template. So with it clamped in place, it's going to work out perfectly as just folding it right over. So it's that simple. So now we basically have that same bend of the rocker to work off of. I went ahead and just tacked in that piece. So that upper piece is obviously original. The rest of it I just had to chop away. You guys saw that rusty piece. Now I'm just kind of making sure everything is all level and straight and happy. I do want a little bit of an air gap. As you guys can see, there's a little gap here on the left side of the ruler. That's perfect because this piece actually sits a little bit further back in. There's kind of like an embossed area that's pushed out. I don't even know if I'm saying that correctly. There's an area you can kind of tell on the right side that's pumped out a little bit, and that's that little notch, that little lip that you guys see is where the quarter panel meets up to. So obviously a very scientific and legit level being used here. Got to get that angle, make sure it's happy and right. Cool, good enough for me. So now it's just a matter of getting this piece shaped up correctly. As you can kind of tell, like the piece has a strange bend to it. It's not a perfectly straight panel that goes all the way to the back. So you can kind of tell right here that it does have to be pushed inwards as it kind of goes further back. So strange setup, strange design, but it's gonna work. We'll make it work. As you guys can see, a little bit of a messy cut here, but again, when you guys see, oh, and here's a good look actually at that bend. I actually just tossed in a bit of a stretch to just add that little notch right there. and it actually worked out really well. So that fits up perfectly. As you guys can see, I got my bent in piece down there for the flange, and yeah, it's all fitting up really well. So just that back portion just has to be kind of pushed in a little bit, and yeah, it all fits up beautifully. So a few tacks in place and that thing is looking good. Just go ahead and kind of tack it up a little bit more, grinding as I go just to kind of keep things clean. Obviously, slow tacks, take your time, keep that heat down, and you'll be good to go. So came out looking well. Obviously just need to dress it up, clean all those welds down. Is this a place where you need to do that? Not at all. But you guys know me. We're just trying to make this car look like absolutely zero repairs have happened. So that's the goal here. Alright, so this last little piece here, like I was telling you guys about, this is the piece that's pushed out a little bit, as you can kind of tell from the body lines. I'm trying to find the piece I cut out. That's what was there. Seen better days. I figured why not just replace it. So we're just going to use a little bit of a tape here to make myself a quick template. Really simple tactic to go use here, and just a little bit of a paint pen, and you get yourself the piece that you need. At least close enough. So, got that thing transferred over into metal. Cut it a little bit big just so if you need to, you know, you have that extra material. It's a whole lot easier to remove material than it is to add it. Trust me, ask me how I know. Same deal, just get this thing shaped up, a little bit of, you know, a little bit of love, and it gets in shape. Now comes a point to get that little fold in it. I really had no clue how to do this initially, and I was just really confused. So it's and I kind of just went into this method, and it actually worked out pretty well. So I'm just grabbing it with a little pair of vice grips and just grabbing the corner and just folding it over. So that's all I did, and it worked out really well. So with that piece fitted up, you guys can see it. It actually looks really solid. Fits up beautifully. However, a little bit of foreshadowing. I will be redoing this piece a little bit, and you guys are probably going to be wondering why. Well, you will see why. Is it a big reason? Maybe, maybe not. I guess depends who you ask. But I will be going back to this, and you guys will see why. Just wanted to make sure that this thing was not going to come flying away from me the moment I unclamped it. And luckily, it actually stayed right in place. So no tension on the piece, which is awesome. Well, I shouldn't say no tension, because there is a little bit. But let's be real, that's nothing. All in all, yeah, really happy with how this came out. And the hardest part is definitely yet still to come. But yeah, it's coming along pretty well. Obviously still some final welding to do, but one step at a time. We're happy with that. So now I'm cutting this thing off, getting it out of here to actually recreate the back portion, which is going to be the challenging part. There it is. First time coming off as a unit. You can clearly see here I'm quite happy with myself. And I gotta say, I mean, it's understandable. This was cool. This was a fun piece to make, and the fact that it just kind of like fits up and I can just lay it there and it all fits, that's cool. That's a cool thing. Gotta say, it is rewarding doing these little things, even though it might seem kind of insignificant and not that fun or cool or something. I don't know, man. I definitely think it's a pretty cool thing. So yeah, it's fun. I'm enjoying the journey. Alright, so here's the second piece I was telling you guys about. This piece has a lot of bends, a lot of crazy things going on. And you guys can see, yeah, throw that away first of all. We don't want that. So this, oh man, what a mess. I'm just looking at the stuff now. I'm just thinking to myself, wow, I'm so glad I've already done this and I don't have to do it again. So we just kind of beat this thing back into somewhat shape, and we can kind of see the shape we're working with. You can see I got myself a line drawn in. I'm gonna try and use that as I guess my separation piece. Gonna make it out of 2 pieces just because it's gonna be much simpler. At this point now, I'm just kind of figuring out where I'm gonna set the, I guess, height for my inner wheelhouse. Again, guys, this is all I'm kind of just learning and building as I go. I really have zero reference, especially on this side, as to how things work. I'm just doing the best I can to base it off the other side, which, in all honesty, there really isn't even that much there to base off of also. So, as you can see, I kind of figured out where it needs to sit. I got that bent up on the inner wheelhouse. And again, satisfaction's there. You can see I look a little bit happy, although somewhat worried maybe at the same time. Thinking, how the hell am I gonna do this? Because I'm sure you can make it out of 1 piece, but you probably need more tools than what I've got. So I saved you the bore and just whipped up a couple pieces and metal from my little template. So I cut my piece in 2, and then basically just try and mimic and recreate those pieces out of some 20 gauge and some bending, some hammering, some cursing, some sweating, probably a little bit of blood, maybe a little bit of tears later, and here we have it. Now, again, not 100% complete, but you can kind of see a rough look. I am not too happy with the contact patch it has on the back against the flange, but again, this is all stuff that we can kind of tweak and adjust and redo if we need to. So at the moment, really happy with how it's looking. As you guys can see, my weld joint in there, no point in grinding that down, just adds a little bit of extra strength, and it's all looking pretty sweet. So that's it. That's gonna be it, guys. We have it all tacked together now as 1 unit, and I gotta say, it's pretty satisfying to see that. I'm really happy with how it came out. However, this is not complete. As you guys can see, there still looks like a missing gap right there in the back top left corner. That's gonna be the next part, and again, that part will be messed with in the future, but I didn't know what I was doing. I just kind of made stuff up as I went, and then kind of hoped it would work, or I figured I could make it work if I needed to. So here's my little piece, and this guy just kind of slides in. Oh, that didn't work. Nice try though. But he just kind of hangs out there. It gets welded up. You guys will see just in a second what it looks like. And in all honesty, I was pretty damn close with how this should have been. I think just a little bit of hammer dolly work, and it's gonna fit up. What am I doing? It's gonna fit up just fine. So there's a picture before. There's that piece magnetized in, and then you can see it right there. Bada bing, bada boom, all welded up. Looking good. Looking really good. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm really stoked on how it came out. 1 step at a time. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. I think it came out all right, and for that being my first side, I think it came out sweet. When I rebuilt the other side, you guys will see, came out even better, I think. So that's the thing, man. With this stuff, you know, it's always a little bit tricky the first time around, but the more you do it, it's much easier. So that goes with anything, I feel like. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video. Still got the bonus content coming. Just stick around, and yeah, you'll get to see me rip around my bike. As you guys can see, I freaking love this thing. It needs a wash. It's actually not that bad today. That red dirt, man, that red clay is sweet out here. That's gonna be it for this one though. I appreciate you guys sticking around till the end. If you guys are still here, if you guys enjoyed it, give me a like. I really would appreciate that. If you'd like, share it with your friends, your family. It would be pretty cool to kind of get some awareness on this build. I think it's kind of cool, and it's really awesome to have you guys reach out to me and just saying that I'm inspiring you guys to build your car, do something on your car, change your oil, like just from little to small. It's really cool to see, and I miss that. I feel like that's kind of what I got into YouTube for, was just the whole inspirational factor. And I'm not saying I'm like an inspiration maybe to some of you, but it's just cool. It's just cool to hear that, and to know that I'm pushing people to be better, to get stuff done, to learn new skills. That's what it's all about in life, man, and try and enjoy yourself along the way. I'm starting to realize that now myself. It's a very important part of it, is to enjoy yourself and make sure you guys are happy. And if you're not happy with how things are going, just gotta adjust. But without further ado, let's go ahead, let's hop on the bike and let's go for some laps. And just a little preview, I don't know, if you guys like this stuff, maybe I'll post more, maybe a whole separate channel, who knows. But that's gonna be it for this GTR build video. I will see you guys next Sunday for the next, and hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Peace out. At the end of the video, you guys want to watch it? Awesome. If you don't, awesome. I just want to have some fun. This is how I let loose. This is my stress relief, man. I tell you what, everything just goes away when I hop on this motorcycle. It's awesome, man. Is in. Hang on. Damn it. Oh, oh yeah. Oh. Right there. Love this sport, man.